White collar can be your worst enemy. Hi, and welcome back again to another episode of I Reviews. Last time I went down the rabbit hole on a B2B business website, and this time we're going to be taking a look at another shop once again concerning ecom, CRO, design principles, and of course, design psychology. And yeah, you can follow along. You can watch the video later, but also I'm gonna put the link of the feedback archive file in the description below, so you can access it anytime free of charge. Once again, uh, Felipe here. For those who don't know, welcome. I hope this brings you some value, and don't forget to subscribe and like if you did. All right, so let's get into it. It's called Meravon. As you can see, this is the homepage, and I think we're just going to be going partially to the homepage and to the product page. I'll start with the homepage as I generally do. And the first thing we can see here is this some issue here with overlaps. This is the classic cookie banner that is partially necessary in online stores these days. But as you can see, it is being overlapped, or it is overlapping with the Belohnungen, which is like a loyalty product program, loyalty program button, for fuck's sakes. So, yeah, that will be number one, of course. So overlap of windows. There's a very easy way to avoid that, because this is a Shopify shop. I can see immediately. There's a very easy way to avoid that by, by limiting the width of this window, of the cookie window, or actually putting it on the left side. And then and then of course you have to see if it works on the mobile devices. But yeah, so first glance, I can see lots of issues with it. Um, like, yeah, okay, so just taking it in once again, and I'm just gonna click this to remove it. It can be very annoying. Right, so let's start with the header, top, hero, etc. So first of all, what we can see is the logo, right? This Meravon logo. It's also got like loads of smaller text in here, like numbers. I can barely read it. High-end fashion, blah 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 blah. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really work. So, the logo seems very unprofessional. Like a template on Canva or similar. Also the from even if I liked the logo, right, personally or subjectively, from an objective point of view, you can barely read the little eyebrows in there, so that is not ideal. And beside that, a logo should not contain too much text, just maybe a slogan, brand name, that's it. You don't want more than that. So too much text and too small, right, on the logo type. When it comes to design, it's fine to place it there, I guess, on the left side of the container. But here, like the black box behind it, it's unpolished, So we'd rather have an outline logo or a normal logo without the square behind it, which means we need generally a transparent logo, and this is not the case. So transparent logo to contrast with the background, with the white background. If the square were white, we wouldn't even notice it, right? But at the same time, it's because it is, we can see the immediate barrier, that just feels rough and unpolished. All right. If we take a look at the menu, so we have two menus. First of all, home, like the button home, is generally unnecessary in shops, because people expect to land on the homepage by clicking the logo. So as long as the logo can be seen, home is generally superfluous, and it's just going to be eating up space that could be used otherwise. So home button generally redundant, right? That can be different on B2B sites or different types of sites, but in web shops, that's usually the case. What else? Okay, so we have the catalog contact. Catalog and contact, or catalog is the standard menu point, as it is called in Shopify when you first start working on your store. And people don't use that in Germany, or rarely. It's like um, not zero optimized. There's better vocabularies such as categories or collections. Collection is a very good one. Contact, okay, fine. We can also put contact and FAQ together if there's an FAQ. Not sure they have one. Okay, maybe they don't. So in that case, all right. But you can put it together, and generally not in the main menu. That's where people expect to find products and collections and services. So it's just thrown in there, just looks weird. Same goes for the Sendungsverfolgung, which means package tracking. Package tracking in the header is very atypical, and it used to be employed in common dropshipping stores all over the internet. Um, it's not a good practice these days, so it just does not belong there. Otherwise, it can even be associated with cheap, scammy sites which used to employ this type of menu nav very commonly. So, counterproductive, I would say. Yeah. What else? The header is too tall because of the logo type, so have to shorten it. Where we have here Deutschland Euro, a flag and icon would be nice. Same goes here for the Deutsch, but generally you can pack them together. Like theoretically you would have here location, which is Germany, and then currency, and then language, right? But generally we can combine them, fuse them together to avoid too many choices, right? So we can say location plus currency maybe, instead of the language, so we can remove the language point if we combine those two together. So aim for maximum two nav points concerning language and currency, right? Okay, cool. Also, the color is in blue, which we'll see later. Maybe that's not a great choice. Okay, so that's eine Kurve perfekt in Szene. So first of all, the text is, the image is pixelated, which means it's a very low quality image. Not only that, but it feels way too cut off, like I think all the actors are smiling on this picture, so in order to convey the full image, you would literally need the full image. So what I will do here is I would just expand the banner to take up all the remaining space below the header in the hero section, and that should allow the dimensions to the proportions to allow for the full banner. And if you can't, but do it like that, and prepare the image in a different way before you upload it, because and naturally always check the mobile view naturally, but we are just reviewing everything, and this is where it starts. So I would let me write that down. So expand the banner to avoid cropping faces, right? And at the same time, and increase resolution. It's a difficult balance with the resolution, because images can get very large, and that will get in the way of speed. So it's a balancing act, but there are good compressing tactics to reduce the pain you take from employing high resolution images. In any case, it should not be pixelated. Jesus. Okay, so we go down, go down, go down. All right, so we have, yeah, I don't know, like a call out, comfortable. Okay, right, it's kind of neutral, there's not too much to be said about that. Except for what I would do here is to bring in some of this content in here or somewhere on the hero banner. It's good to have a statement, to understand what your offer is and how you do it. So, and because this is the first thing that people see, it should be on the hero banner is, as far as possible. Not this entire text, just, like a shorter phrase, catchline maybe, slogan, eyebrow, call to action, something like that. So, yeah, statement. So I'm just gonna put statements on the hero banner with a CTA, so a call to action. All right, cool. Let's go down. All right, so we have the beginning of collections. Okay, yeah, many issues here. First of all, we don't know what collections these are, like what categories is, where do they belong to? Why are they shown here? Like what category? Why are they shown here? I don't know. So we need a question answered. Maybe a bestseller, maybe highlights of the month, maybe, something like that. You gotta give the user context, You gotta take them by the hand and explain to them is in a concise way what every section is about. And also, I think this is a mistake. This pricing here, right? Probably a mistake. Props mistake. And also, what we realize is the color in the hierarchy, right? So we have, if I take a look at the title, at the stars, and at the price, it's all in the same color. So it seems like it is together, but should not be together. So kind of same color, no hierarchy, So I don't know what to pay attention to the most, and yeah, also in terms size as well, So for example, if the price was a little larger, then maybe that's the first thing people would pay attention to. So I have to draw the eye to the right elements. So okay, let's go down. So we have 8, 11 products, 12, 13, 15, 19 products in a huge generic collection that we still don't know what it is about. So that's a cardinal sin of eco. So so let's say it's a random assortment of products with no context, belonging in way too long without separation. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, that's not good. Okay, let's go down. Let's go down. Da, da, da. Okay, let's go to the. Okay, so we get a call out. All right, great. This is supposed to say, or what it says here is to discover our highlights. So first of all, there are no highlight products here. No highlight products here. So the context is missing, the product context is missing, and if the highlight products are those two on this random banner, then there should be some sort of categorization here, some sort of clarification, so people actually know these are the products, if they are indeed, right? And otherwise, if you're calling out to the highlights, then we should have highlights, meaning we should have more than one product, depicted here. And that goes back to what I said before about the collection categories and overview. Right? Okay, so it just feels like it's missing. And then we get to the footer already, which is generic. There's the classic footer links. Let me just see if they work at all. Yeah, okay. Seems to work, at least. But yeah, so we were talking about the highlights here. So thing is, there's a lot of stuff missing. I wanted to take a look at other stuff, but there's a lot of stuff missing here, and I simply have to point that out. So we need more collections. Yeah, hold on. Collections, products, humanized pictures. So that is not just product pictures and context. What we're lacking here is a lot of it's copy. We don't have copy, and by that I mean the text copy is text, right? No copy. So that is also bad for SEO, so for organic results, and naturally to guide the user throughout the web page, to show them what is important together with the images, to give context to the images, to explain the different sections. We need some type of copy, some optimized copy, which is completely lacking here. No copy. We have no additional brand information. No face behind the company. No who we are. So people have gotten savvy to old dropshipping stores that just offer unrealistic prices. They had overflooded the market, and now it's not that easy to differentiate yourself, but you can do it as long as you know what you do. And the problem here is there is just not enough content that points towards a real brand. And it's very confusing. The hierarchy is not great. The order of things are not great. The aesthetics are not there. And so there's a lot missing here. And so when this happens, it lacks trust, so I doubt this start's gonna get any sales or barely any sales whatsoever. And also maybe if we just comment a little bit on the footer, lots of things wrong here, but you generally don't have to uh, repeat this as we had in the header, right? Then here the payment icons, not in the correct order. They should be ordered according to most used, most popular ones. And I can tell you it's not the case that American Express is the most used payment method here in Germany. That just doesn't happen, So yeah, but all in all, I wanted to look at the rest, but we just stayed on the homepage because it's really, really, really way too simplistic, and we just need a lot of content here. And right, so pay attention to spacing, pay attention to contrast, pay attention to the menu header in this case, where we can save a lot of space and substitute it with differentiated content. The image is pixelated, no clear statement, no copy whatsoever, lack of categorization and assorting, lack of content in general, lack of collections, and lack of, trust. That's it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop this here. Otherwise, I'm gonna be 1 hour doing this entire review. I hope so far it's been helpful. Maybe I'll do a part 2 of this store to showcase the product page, which is there was a lot of stuff to be said about it as well. Yeah, I'll just do an episode 2 because this has gotten too long. So yeah, I hope it already brought you some value. Thanks for watching so far. Leave a like, leave a subscribe if you found some value. Aesthetic rocks. aesthetics rock. I got Felipe. And I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.